This video is all about user data maintenance. We all make mistakes when we enter data, and this is the facility that SuperMonitor provides to fix those mistakes. So go to the main menu and select user data maintenance. You'll be presented with a number of options. The first one is auto adjust data input errors. Selecting that way, you've got two options to do with bank account transactions. So these are any transactions that you may have made that have affected bank account amounts or balances. So we go into here, and from a certain date it'll list all the transactions. And in fact, for instance, they're all sorted by date, and you can see that we've made some withdrawals, we've made some transfers, a deposit, and we might have made a mistake with this withdrawal. We said, oh look, no, we didn't mean to withdraw $50,000 from that account, and transfer it to that account. So you want to withdraw it. Well, this auto adjust, if you press reverse, it will ask you, do you really want to do this? And what it will do is then reverse the transaction and do all the financial transactions that accompanied that transaction. So you can see that was successful. So not all transactions can be automatically reversed because of subsequent transactions that you may have made. But if you're quick enough, you should be able to automatically adjust any major mistakes. And that applies to bank accounts. If you look at investment transactions, you can see here we've got a dividend, we sold a share, we bought a share. Now again, if we've made a mistake with the quantity or the bank that we transferred the money to or from, again we can do a reverse. So if I said this dividend that I did in an earlier video I wasn't happy with, and there's sufficient money in that account, it'll reverse all the transactions and say yes, I'm happy, and it reversed that transaction for me. So that's a very, very handy option to auto reverse all the transactions and that have got a money side to it. The manual adjust is, if it won't happen automatically, you'll have to come here, and like banking details, you can go in, select an account. You can modify the name and a few things if you wanted to as well, but the main thing is this account balance. If you've messed up somehow, you might have to come in and adjust the bank balance, and likewise you might have to adjust the interest rate. So that's on savings account. Term deposits, again, you might want to change the number of months. You might have made a mistake when you entered the term deposit number of months, or the interest rate paid for the term deposit. Share details, again, select from the drop down the disclosure triangle here, select the respective share. You might have made a mistake with the dividend, or this share the dividend might actually appear in a different month, so you might want to change the 50% of the dividends paid in month 1, you might want to change that to another month. So that's your shares. Managed funds is exactly the same as the shares. Disclosure triangle, select the managed fund, change the dividend yield, change when the dividend is payable. Other assets, the one here would probably be the price you've paid for it and the estimated income that you expect, monthly income you expect from that. So that's kind of a manual way of adjusting any input errors you've made. You can also delete accounts, again only accounts that haven't had subsequent transaction on it. So again, a disclosure triangle giving you all the options of all the bank accounts it knows about them. Like for instance, this new bank that I set up a little while ago for the children, I don't think I've done any transactions, and there's nothing in there, and I'm not happy that I've entered that information correctly. So delete, I'm sure, yes, and it's deleted it. So it's allowed me to delete that bank account because there's been no transactions against that bank account. Likewise, term deposit accounts, disclosure triangle, select the term deposit that you've got, and then are you able to delete that term deposit? It'll depend on whether there are transactions that have taken place against that. Budget categories, again you can select a budget category that you've got. and you might say, oh yes, so that category called loan, subcategory for cars, yeah, I don't want that, doesn't make sense, I've made an error. You can delete those accounts. So you may be in a position where you can delete accounts, but there is some logic to not deleting accounts where some transactions have taken place against. Finally, if you want to just get a bit of a feel for all the adjustments that you have made, or the auto reverse transactions, the bank account ones, these are all the reverse transactions that you actually have done. So it just keeps track of each one of those. Investment transactions, you can see here from a certain date all the investment transactions that have been done, and you can see that the one that we did today was this one here. So it's very handy just to keep track of what you've done, the auto reversed ones, the manually adjusted ones. You can see they're sorted by date again, so you can see here these transactions had been manually adjusted, and it's quite useful. It tells you the before situation and the after situation. So what I did here is I changed the account name and before and after here, and etc. So you can get a bit of an idea of the before and after images of those manual adjustments that you've made. Alright, so that really gives you quite a powerful facility there to correct any errors that you may have made during data entry.